Before I start this video, I just want to put out a trigger warning or a sensitivity warning, anything like that. If you've experienced a miscarriage, if you know someone who has, if it's just too much to listen to this and to hear our story, then by all means do what you need to do and just protect any piece that you have. So, alright, let's get into it. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is not a fun video to be filming, but I want to share my story, my husband and I's story. We've shared with our small group, with our families, with our friends, and I think it's time to use this platform to hopefully just inform you or encourage you if you guys are going through a similar thing. I just don't want anyone to feel that they're alone, especially on my channel. So I hope to use this platform to glorify the Lord, and I know that my story is doing that. So I'm going to try to keep this short and simple. I've tried to record this numerous times and I just go on a tangent because there's so many details that I could put out there. The dreams we had, the way I told Ben, like all of this stuff, but really none of that matters. And that may sound like I'm a Debbie Downer, but Ben and I wholeheartedly believe that God only accomplishes His will, and if His will was for this child to not make it earthside, then His will be done. We trust that. We know that our baby is in heaven and are excited for the future. To hopefully have more babies and hopefully have them earthside, but we just feel that this child was never meant to be on earth, and was actually made with heaven in mind, and God never intended for them to be a part of our family here on earth. So I wrote a couple things, and I'm just going to try to go through that rather than like trying to think back, because this was like a little over a month ago. So I guess I'll start with our journey to conceive. So we started trying at the point that we got pregnant. It was our 9th cycle trying. We were getting close to the year mark, where typically if you are under a certain age and haven't been able to get pregnant within a year, then you want to start seeking fertility counsel and all of that stuff. And I was really getting super anxious for that. And I want to be sensitive when I'm talking about this, because a lot of our friends and in our small group and such, they do struggle with infertility and unexplained infertility and their journey not going how maybe they thought it would. So I just want to be super sensitive to that, but I also want to be real on my channel. And if I'm being honest, I was very scared that maybe we wouldn't be able to get pregnant naturally. And we really don't know we don't know the cause of our miscarriage, so maybe we can't. My prayer through all of this is that I won't grow bitter and that we don't get ahead of God. So we're just taking each day as it's given. A couple years ago I coined a term, which is actually like the title page on my YouTube like channel art, and that is receive it as the good Lord has given it. So that's what we're doing. We're just taking it day by day, month by month, and we'll just see what God does, what He gives, and how we can receive it. All that to be said, we were trying for 9 months and we did get pregnant. So that goes on to my next point. I really didn't think that I was pregnant, but I tested on the 18th, which was a Monday, 19th, which was a Tuesday, and the 20th, which was a Wednesday. And on the 18th, I swear I could see like the faintest line, like what an evaporation line would look like, but it was there within the amount of time that you're supposed to look at a test. But I really didn't want to get my hopes up, because so many times in the past 9 months I've taken a test and obviously it was negative, but I convinced myself that maybe I saw something. So I just really didn't want to do that this time around. And then Tuesday, came and I took another test. So I took that test in the morning after I had already gone to the bathroom. So it's not like the most concentrated first morning urine that you're supposed to take, especially when you're doing an early test. And I could see something, and I was like so excited. I brought the test to work, and I'm a nanny, so I was like so excited to be around kids that day. So I took one in the morning, and then I took one at like 4 p.m. and I felt like it was darker. And at this point I was like out of pregnancy tests because I'd had them for like 9 months and I was finally running out. So I like quickly ordered a whole bunch off Amazon and they came like within the day. So then I took one before Ben got home, definitely saw a line. And then Wednesday morning is when I confirmed that I was pregnant. And that's when I told Ben. I told him Wednesday morning, and the test was still super faint, but getting darker. As soon as I told Ben and had joy about this, I just felt like deep anxiety over the possibilities of what could happen, because I found out I was pregnant 3 weeks and 3 days. So that is like as early as you can find out. That was before I even missed my period. So between week 4 and 5 is a super common time to have what's called a chemical pregnancy. And they're called chemical pregnancies because the only way that you can detect a pregnancy that early is through HCG, which is a hormone or a chemical. Once you get past that, where the HCG is increased and a gestational sac actually has an embryo in it, then it's a clinical pregnancy. Do I like those terms? No. I feel like that totally invalidates any pregnancy, but I know that I was pregnant and I know that we lost our baby. Pregnancy for me is truly just about letting go. And letting go of this perceived control that I had, because I don't have control. I can do, you know, the prenatals and the supplements and drinking so much water and exercising and all of this stuff that's really healthy for a child growing in you. But ultimately, I don't have control over whether or not that's actually going to keep a baby. So the anxiety continued, like I said, throughout even the time that I miscarried. But on Tuesday, I started spotting just a little bit, and then it was fine. I stopped spotting, I stopped bleeding. But come Friday morning, I've talked about this so many times, but every time it's such a constant reminder for me. So Friday morning at 4 a.m. I took my temperature, my basal body temperature. That's like Ben and I's form of birth control. It's like natural family planning. And to have a confirmed pregnancy, it's usually like 18 high temperatures. And so I was on day 18 or 19, and my temp went from 98.2 or something to 97.23. So it dropped drastically. So I knew, just because I have been charting my cycles, that a plummet after that many days is an impending miscarriage. So from 4 a.m. on, I knew I was miscarrying, but I hadn't yet started bleeding. I started shaking in bed because I was crying, because I knew exactly what that meant. And Ben woke up and we just sobbed in the bathroom because I took another test and the line was fainter, which means HCG is dropping, which means the baby's not sticking. Thankfully, I did not work. I don't typically work on Fridays. This is a Friday when I'm filming. But Ben and I prayed on the couch, and then he went to work. and then he came home because he couldn't do it. And one of the hardest parts of this miscarriage was seeing, and is, but right when it was fresh, was seeing Ben grieve. Because we've never been through something like this, something that we've grieved together. So it was really hard to see that. So that was Friday. I think at night was when I started bleeding. And then the next day was not fun. It was painful, it was heavy, and it was just spiritually and emotionally painful because I just knew what was happening, and it was a constant reminder every time I went to the bathroom. So yeah, that was Friday, that was Saturday. Sunday came, I was supposed to do worship for church, and I just couldn't. I was laying in bed and I couldn't keep it together. I tried singing my songs in bed, and just, it was a good choice for me and for our congregation for me to not sing. Yeah, it all happened so quickly. So from the time that I found out I was pregnant to the time that I lost the baby, it was like 9 or 10 days. So yes, it was too soon. I'm just trying to prepare my body for the future. Whether we can get pregnant again or not, but we are so grateful that we were able to. Even though it didn't last, God answered our prayers that we were able to, and that's just, He's sovereign over all, and that's just His character. He listens, and in His timing, He will answer. I just wanted to share the verse, Philippians 4:19. I actually have it, you can't see it, but there's a painting over there that I made. And it says, "And my God will supply every need of yours according to His riches in glory in Christ Jesus." And that is what we are clinging to. I just know that according to His riches, God will supply our needs. But that's not according to what we want. That's according to His plan and His thought out everything for our lives. I pray that one day we can look back on this with the baby in my arms or in my belly, but for right now, this is where we're at. And I wanted to share this while we're still going through it and while it's still very fresh. I mean, it's been a month and a couple days. So I am beyond amazed at what God has done through this. Though it sucks, God has turned it for good, and my relationship with my husband is so much deeper than it was before. And beyond that, my relationship with the Lord has deepened immensely, and my dependence on Him. So we are resting assured in all of those things, and God is enough, and I need to remember that. But it still is okay to have these desires of our hearts and be sad when those things don't happen. That's my talk. That's our story on our chemical pregnancy, our miscarriage. I just hope that it can be encouraging to you, even though it is such a sad thing. Thank you for watching. I hope to get more videos up in the future. Again, I apologize for the 2-month wait, but as you now know, things have been a little different than they have been. So thank you for your patience and just for sticking with me through this. If you guys are going through the same thing or have prayer requests, please don't be afraid to leave those down below. I want my channel to be a safe place and one that really honors the Lord. So I think that's all I have to say today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.